Alright, so now I want to explain about interpersonal theme. Interpersonal theme is an item that shows a point of view on the content of the remainder of the clause. It comes before the rim indicating the relationship between participants in the text. For example, like, "Ultimately, this is so hideous to do so." Ultimately here as an interpersonal theme, and "this is so hideous to do so" is a rim. Interpersonal elements or interpersonal themes occurring before the topical theme are also thematic. They may be modal adjuncts, vocatives, finite, or WH elements. Interpersonal function to explicitly construe writer point of view and are released by modal adjuncts. For example, like "unfortunately," "in my point of view," or "in my opinion," "generally," and so on. And the next one is the modal adjunct. This is the example of modal adjuncts. "Perhaps we can wait until next week." Perhaps here as a modal and interpersonal, and "we" here as a topical. From here, we can call it as a theme. And this clause may can wait until next week as a rim. That is the explanation. And the next one is vocatives. Vocatives, a name or nickname used to address someone, are only thematic if they occur before the topical theme, a finite verb, or a modal adjunct. For example, like this: "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today." Dearly beloved here as a vocative, and "we" here as a topical. From here, vocative topical we can call it as a theme, and here as a rim. The next example is same. "Mary, we decided to wait until next week." Mary here as a vocative, "we" as a topical that can call it as a theme, and "decided to wait until next week" as a rim. And so this is important, so be careful. In the clause or in some clauses, there is a name that is not used as a vocative or interpersonal, but it is a topical. For example, like, "Mary decided to wait until next week." Mary here is not a vocative or interpersonal, but Mary here is a topical that can call as a theme too. And "decided to wait until next week" is a clause that can call as a rim. And another example like this: "Anyway, Mary, we decided to wait until next week." Or "Anyway, Mary, we decided to wait until next week." We can see that there are a lot of, or there are several elements here that consist or support or can be classified as a theme. But here, in this clause, "decided to wait until next week," it is the clause that can stand alone, that can called as a rim. Same with this example. Mary, didn't we decided to wait until next week?" This is consists of several elements that can called as a theme. But in this clause, "decided to wait until next week," it is can stand alone and called as a rim. And also here, same with the previous example, theme here consists of several elements that can support or that can classify as a theme itself. And rim is a clause that can stand alone. For example, like this: "decided to wait until next week." And the last one is this: the maximum possible theme in a clause would be something like this. For example, "Well, but Alternatively, Mary surely wasn't the best thing to be with. Well, here as a continuative, but as a structure, alternatively as a conjunction, these elements can called as a textual, and Mary as a vocative, surely as a modal, wooden as a finite that can called as an interpersonal, the best thing as a topical, also as a topical, and a textual interpersonal topical here can called as a theme, and to be weighed here is the clause that can stand alone that can called as a real. So that's all from me. Thank you.